Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm working on my snap. I'm also testing out this red dot. I've had it for about 6 months. This is the Atibal SLR-1. It's a solar powered red dot. It's got a 35 MOA circle and a 2 MOA dot. So the thing that I'm practicing is a snap where it's a technique that's typically used inside of close quarters. Normally I prefer to anchor the toe of the stock, into my shoulder, come up and meet my face. It's a lot, I find it a lot more comfortable. It's easier for me to find that red dot and get it on target. But the problem is if you're doing this in close quarters, like inside a room, right? If you're coming through a narrow doorway, or if somebody presents themselves and you're coming up, you can, hit your muzzle on something or somebody. So with the snap, you've got the stock, back a little bit, and what you're doing is you're punching out. So even if somebody's in front of you, you're gonna just spear them with the muzzle and push them back. So I find that it's a better technique for use inside of close quarters. So again, it's a different technique. So you have to practice from here, getting your face on the gun, getting your eye in the right position. So it's a matter of getting the toe of the stock in the right place on your shoulder, and your face, your cheek on the right place on the gun. Normally, like when you're doing the other one, when you're doing just going up, and it's already anchored to your shoulder. So all you have to do is lift and meet your face. As opposed with a snap, basically, the gun is not on your chest or your face, so you have to come out. And now there's two pieces of the gun that you need to get in the right position. So it involves a little bit more practice to get good at it, but it's a good tool to have in your toolbox. So as far as the red dot, like I said, it's a 35 MOA circle. Most of my other red dots are 65 MOA. And I generally prefer the 65 MOAs on flat tops. If I have an AR that has a front sight post, I usually turn off the circle dot and I just use the dot. And the reason is because the 65 MOA usually is bigger than the front sight post. So what happens is I find that there's just too much stuff going on up here, between the dot, 65 MOA circle, and the front sight post. But what I'm finding is with the 35 MOA circle, okay, when I look at it, right, that 35 MOA basically goes from ear to ear. So if you look at the front post protectors, or the bunny ears as people call them, it pretty much goes, it's inside of those two bunny ears. So it's pretty tight. So it's basically like a big red dot. And I'm finding that it's making it really easy to find that dot, because I'm treating the whole 35 MOA circle as a dot. So on those 4-inch targets over there, I'm not looking for that tiny little dot. I'm looking for the whole circle and basically just putting it on the target. So if I'm behind here, all right, come out. Okay. So if you do this exercise, what you want to do is put your foot right on the edge of your barricade. And what you want to do is make sure the gun comes out. If you're going to step out, make sure the gun comes out first. Okay, you don't want to have your foot come out and then the gun come out, because your foot's going to get shot, and you're also giving notice to the people inside the room that you're coming in. So what you want to do is, if you're gonna move, right, you want to basically put the gun forward as you step. And this is a type of technique that might be useful if you're doing room clearing with a team. If you're working by yourself, you don't want to do that. You want to basically tie the room. So you want to basically tie as much of the room as you can from the outside. Okay. So that's the preferred method of clearing a room, where you're tying the room from the outside. But if you're working with a team, the standard room entry tactics is you want to get as many people into that room as quickly as possible. Now usually you're throwing in a flashbang grenade first to clear the room for you. But the idea there is that when it's time to go, you move as fast as possible. And if I'm the first guy in, I need to move as quickly as possible. So what this would actually look like, right now I'm just isolating this one exercise. What this would really look like if I would put the whole thing together. Okay, so I'm behind my cover, come out. So that's what the whole exercise would look at. And since I'm the first guy in, I can see what's on that side. So I go in, if there's a bad guy there, I'm shooting. And then as soon as I know that there's no threat on this side, I immediately swing to the left, because I can see from here, I can see what's over there. I can't see what's behind this wall. So as soon as possible, as soon as I go in, I want to move left and take control of this side of the room over here. So that's the goal, okay? So I'm here. Right now I can't see the bad guy. Step in. Okay, and what's happening is, as I'm going in, the guy behind me, so basically it's going to look something like that. We're essentially going through at the same time. It's not like I go through and then he goes in. You're kind of bursting in together. What you don't want to do is get stuck in the doorway. Okay, that's known as the funnel of death. Because if the first guy comes here and gets into a gunfight with that guy over there, well, now he's clogging up the doorway. So all the other guys that are trying to come in, they're of no use. And there's a good chance that they're going to start taking fire through the walls, right? Because the bullets will travel through most walls. So now you've trapped all your guys behind you. So that's why once you start moving, you gotta move. You gotta get out of that doorway, get out of the way, and get to the side of the room that you could not see, and cover that. So from here, right, guns in it tight. I'm gonna punch out and move. Okay. So fun exercise, and like I said, the main reason I'm doing this today is I wanted to test out this 35 MOA circle dot, which I can tell you guys is really working great if you have an AR with a front sight post, because that 35 MOA is going to fit perfectly inside the bunny ears of your front sight post. So if you guys have any comments, any feedback for me, put in the comment section. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.